everyone, it's Mio, and today I'm going to show you how I decorated this cake for the holiday season. I do not consider myself a baker, but I do like to decorate sweet foods, so I'm going to show you how I decorated and created this cake. And this is actually a birthday cake for my husband, so if you stay tuned, you can see him blow out his candles. I hope you guys enjoy this video. For more like these, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my username is FlyingMio. You can get a sneak peek of all my future crafts. And let's get started. So like I said before, I don't consider myself a baker. I'm using a box cake from Pillsbury. You can pick whichever flavor you want. I just got the really colorful one. And like all box cakes, I'm just going to follow the instruction in the back. I'm going to pour out all the contents into a large mixing bowl, and instead of using regular eggs, I'm just going to use egg whites. So here I am gently taking my eggs and I am letting the egg whites seep through between the shells and keeping the yolk in the eggshell so I can use it for something else later. The key here is just to be really gentle that you don't break the yolk, but if you want to use the yolk in your cake, you absolutely can. I'm using the right amount of oil that it requested on the back of the box, and I'm going to gently mix it with this mixer that I have here. I don't have an electric mixer, I'm just using my hands because I don't have anything electronic, but if you are fancier than me, by all means go ahead and use that electric mixer. I have not added any water into the mix yet because I like to mix my dough until it's nice and smooth and I get all the crumbs all broken up before I add the water in. This is a little trick that I picked up from mixing so many cake mixes with my hand and not having an electric mixer. So once it's blended all together, I'm going to go ahead and add the right amount of water and gently mix this into a nice smooth batter. And don't underestimate the mixing. Mixing this batter really well actually makes the cake nice and moist and bakes really evenly. So make sure you spend a lot of time getting out all the clumps. Alright, so here are the two molds I'm using for my cake. I bought them at the flea market, but I also seen them at different bakery shops, including hobby shops like Hobby Lobby and Joann's. I just oiled them down and I'm pouring the batter into them. I'm not going to fill it all the way to the top. I only filled them about a third full, and I patted out all the bubbles and went ahead and preheat my oven. While my cake is baking, I'm going to prep everything else up. So here is the frosting I'm using. I'm just using the Betty Crocker white whipped frosting, and I specifically chose the whitest one I can find because I'm going to make this into a colored mint green frosting. If you want to make your frosting from scratch, you absolutely can, but here's how I do it. I'm just going to take some colored food coloring here and just add the green one into the center and gently mix it until it's a nice minty green color that I think is appeasing. If you want it lighter or darker, just adjust the amount of food coloring you added to the frosting. Now for the other frosting, I want to put it into a bag so I can pipette it out nicely onto my cake. I do not have the cake decoration bag, so here is my poor man's version. I'm just using a Ziploc bag, taking some white frosting, and I'm going to place it in the corner of one of my Ziploc bags. Using a spoon can really help you get to that corner and help save you from wasting a lot of frosting on the other parts of the bag. I only filled up with 2 scoops, and then once I am done doing that, I pressed all the frosting into one corner, and as you can see here, it has gone all the way to the very tip. And I'm going to flatten the tip out and just remove the excess tip by cutting it off so that there's a small hole at the end. And this hole is going to be important for me to pipette the frosting out. I'm just using a regular cake pipette that I found and I just tape it on top. For my other cake decorations, I took an ice cream waffle cone that I bought at a local grocery store, and I specifically picked the ones that look like a cone shape, not the little cylinder looking ones that you get from soft serve ice cream. And I'm just going to cut off the tip, and this is going to form the Christmas tree in the center of my Christmas cake. I also took some fresh strawberries, and I took the smallest ones I can find and cut them into what looks like miniature red Christmas trees. Once you have all of your decorations ready and your cake is all done baking, let your cake cool down, and once it's all cooled, we're going to go ahead and put your cake together. So here is 1/2 of the cake that I baked, and I'm going to remove the outside pan from the cake. As you can see, the top part of my cake has a slight dome shape, so what I'm going to do is take a knife and I'm going to remove the top part of the dome so I have a nice flat thin layer of cake that I can stack upon each other. For the center of my layered cake, I chose to do a chocolate hazelnut filling. I got this from our local grocery store. It's pretty similar to Nutella, and I just spread it all around the center. And make sure you get all the edges because you want all that chocolatey goodness in every bite. And once you're happy with the filling, go ahead and place the top layer on the very top of the cake, of course. Alright, so I'm going to move on to the best part of the cake making process, which is to decorate the actual cake. So I'm going to take the mint green frosting and I'm going to layer the cake with one thin layer of opaque green frosting. To spread the frosting, I like to use a spoon and a knife, but you can use whichever tool you have at home. And this is what my cake looks like after I have the first layer of frosting on. I'm going to move my cake to a cake stand and continue the cake decorating process. So if you plan on eating the cake immediately, you can actually add on the fresh strawberries immediately. But what I didn't realize when I added strawberries is that when strawberries touch sugar, they actually start leaking juices around your cake and they can actually start sliding off. So even though I put the strawberries on right now in this tutorial, I actually ended up taking off the strawberries and the frosting and putting it on the following day, which was the day we actually ate the cake. Also, when handling fresh strawberries, you want to make sure you have a very quick hand because again, you don't want to wait so long that the strawberries start melting off. So here I'm making some darker green frosting, and this is going to be the frosting that covers my Christmas tree. I'm going to take the ice cream cone, place it in the center of my cake where I want it, and I also put the dark green frosting in the pipette, and you're just going to cover the ice cream cone from head to toe with this darker green colored frosting. Alright, so this is what my Christmas cake looks like so far. As you can see, the strawberries are starting to melt off a little bit because I've been taking too long to decorate it. So I'm actually going to finish the Christmas tree first. I'm going to add some sprinkles that I have bought from my local grocery store. They're just little stars, but you can use whichever sprinkles you want. And for some added cuteness, I'm going to add these candy characters that I bought online. If you don't have access to these candy characters or you're unable to find them, you can always go to your local grocery store. They have those Christmas cupcakes on display and they always have those plastic pieces of Christmas decorations stuck in those cupcakes, and that's where I got this Merry Christmas sign. So just be creative with whatever type of decorations you have in the household. And on the bottom of my cake, I put a line of frosting all around the perimeter, and I added a pink little sprinkle that I bought at Hobby Lobby to the very center of each little pipetted flower that I created. These candies are actually edible and they look really nice. And as you can see here, I actually removed the strawberry and its frosting because they were melting off. I'm going to fridge this and redecorate it tomorrow. If you want your strawberries to look really nice and evenly placed, I suggest taking a toothpick and gently poking a hole where you kind of want your strawberries to be placed. Once you're happy with the toothpick outline, you're going to go ahead and place your strawberries back on. I'm going to pipette the white frosting first and then place my strawberries on top like you saw me do earlier. Now I went ahead and freezed my strawberries in the freezer overnight, and by doing so, when you take your strawberries out and they are warmed up a little bit, they actually condensate the air around it and form a frosty appearance on your strawberries. Now if you didn't freeze your strawberries, you can just take some condensed powdered sugar and you can sprinkle some on top so it looks just like Christmas snow. And that, guys, is how I created and decorated this festive cake for the holidays. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And you can follow me on Instagram if you want. My username is FlyingMio. Now this cake served more than just a Christmas cake for me. It was actually a birthday cake as well because my husband's birthday is actually on Christmas Day. So I actually bought some long slender candles from my local grocery store, placed them on the cake, and we sang a happy birthday song for my husband.
Happy birthday to you. Alcohol. Uh-oh.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye!